Like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have bad luck for the rest of the week.
Even though your biology teacher might have taught you that plants are useful, many of them have some horrifying facts attached to their name. Some plants have a mechanism to defend themselves from animals that want to eat them as a salad, and some filled with toxins that can make us seriously ill or be fatal. Okay, enough with the chatter. Let's see our top 10 most dangerous plants. Number 10. The Rhododendron. The Rhododendron is mostly native to Asia and is grown from spectacular flowers of many a colour. There are many variations available, but the plant usually prefers damp climates and mild temperatures. The colourful flower clusters vary from pink, white, reddish-purple, crimson red to blue, and yellow. They require soil that is light, well-drained and rich in organic matter to grow. Since it produces attractive blooms, many homes are enticed with these flowering shrubs. For the most part, the rhododendron plant are extremely toxic if ingested and could end up being fatal in a worst-case scenario. But the highest concentration of toxin is present in the leaves of the rhododendron. Some farm animals are very likely to end up eating the leaves and therefore more exposed to the toxins than humans would be. In the case of a human might ingest any part of this plant, it would be advised to seek medical help as soon as possible. If ingested, you may encounter symptoms like excessive salivation, vomiting, diarrhea, nausea, difficulty breathing, and progressive paralysis of the arms and legs. Number 9. Jimson Weed. Jimson Weed is a member of the nightshade family, which includes things we regularly eat, like potatoes and tomatoes. This plant is also known as the devil's weed, hell's bell, and the devil's trumpet. And when something is named after the devil, you don't want to mess with it. Trust me on that. It grows as a wild herb in the United States, Canada, and some parts of the Caribbean islands. Although the plant is known to be dangerous, if used correctly, the leaves and seeds are actually used to make medicines and are used to treat asthma complications, coughs, the flu, and nerve disease. Teenagers also use the plant as a drug due to its easy availability. All parts of the plant are toxic, but the seeds, fruit, and leaves contain the highest level of toxin. Symptoms after ingesting any part of the plant usually occur within 30 to 60 minutes. The initial symptoms of ingesting the toxic chemicals may include dry mouth, blurred vision, hallucinations, confusion, and combative behavior. Number 8. Angel's Trumpets. In number 9 we had a plant called the Devil's Trumpet, and now we're talking about Angel's Trumpets. A lot of musical names in plants. Funny, isn't it? Angel's trumpets are mostly native to Central and South America. There are lots of different species and sizes, growing conditions, and flower colours. Its bloom will show spectacular drooping flowers, which can grow about 20 inches long. The flowers emit a strong, fragrant scent that strongly attracts hummingbirds. Angel's trumpets contain a large number of toxins, and all parts of the plant contain the poison starting from the leaves, flowers, and seeds to the roots that may cause harm to both animals and humans. When the plant residue enters the bloodstream or stomach, it will get dangerous. Symptoms of poisoning in humans include fever, hallucinations, muscle weakness, difficulty breathing, memory loss, paralysis, and coma. So this plant is really dangerous. If you suspect that you or any person you have been exposed to poison of the plant, the best thing to do is to call an ambulance for early treatment. That is another testament to not go outside and touch everything you see. Number 7. Akunata. Akunata is a plant that's native to many areas of Europe and Asia. There are about 250 species of this plant, so there are a lot to keep track of. This plant has a couple of several names such as monkshood, wolfsbane, and devil's hermit. It produces beautiful flower clusters of blue or white flowers on sturdy stems. Unfortunately for us, all parts of the Akunata are poisonous if ingested, or if the sap comes into contact with your mouth, eyes, or nose. Akunata contains terrible things like arsenic, lead, and ammonium, and the bacteria responsible for tinnitus, so you can imagine how harmful the plant really is. Akunata poisoning is life-threatening, so it can badly influence your heart's ability to function properly and your central nervous system in case it's ingested. It is advised to seek medical advice immediately to get a head start on getting you back on track to the road to recovery. Number 6. Sikita. The Sikita plant produces distinctive small green or white flowers that resemble the shape of an umbrella. This plant is commonly found along the lakes and streams and grows up to 2.5 meters tall. Sikula is extremely toxic and not something to be messed around with. The toxin that acts directly on the central nervous system is a violent convulsive. In other words, the toxin can induce seizures and involuntary movement. Water hemlock is therefore the most violently toxic plant that grows in North America. Sikula is fatal when swallowed, causing violent and painful seizures, stomach pains, and nausea. Over the centuries, there have been records of many human deaths due to water hemlock poisoning. Not only is this plant dangerous to us, but livestock. It's also exposed to this plant. The roots of this plant are tastier for livestock than other parts of the plant, but it's also one of the most toxic parts of the whole plant. Thus, livestock has a huge death rate when consuming this plant, and will almost always die. It's better to keep both animals and humans rather far away from this plant. Number 5. White snakeroot. White snakeroot plants are native to eastern and central North America. It is a poisonous herb that grows quite tall, usually up to 1.5 meters or 4.9 feet. It grows in clusters of brilliant white blooms that last for a long period of time. Due to it being a hardy plant that can survive all kinds of weather, the name snakeroot is based on the belief that when its root is mashed together, it was a cure for snake bites when applied to the initial snake bite. The plant is a common sight amongst roadside, woods, fields, etc. The leaves and stems of white snakeroot plants contain a substance called thermitol, a toxin that affects the heart, causing it to beat irregularly. As a result, it is a dangerous plant not only for humans but for livestock as well, as it will be often consumed by cattle and such. On the other hand, the poison will pass to humans when they eat the meat of animals contaminated with this specific toxin. Once the toxin is ingested into your system, you may encounter symptoms like vomiting, weakness, pain, and coma. In the worst case scenario, death would be on the outcome of consuming any part of this plant. Then again, you wouldn't trust snakes, so why would you trust something that was the word snake in its name? Number 4. Rosary Pea. The rosary pea is a plant with distinctive looking red seeds that have a black spot and are commonly used in jewelry and toys, usually compared to a doll's eye. These plants are native to Africa, Asia, Australia, and the Pacific region. The attractive seeds of a rosary pea are used as beads in many places in India and Indonesia. The negative fact about this plant is that it is also extremely toxic. Due to the toxin present in the plant's seeds known as aberin causes a dangerous side effect by getting inside the cells of a person's body and preventing the cells from making the proteins they need. For humans, accidental exposure to aberin is not likely as you may think, as the toxin is only within the seed. The only way possible to be exposed is to touch the surfaces containing the toxin particles, or to let droplets of aberin accidentally land on your skin or eyes. The symptoms of accidentally coming in contact with this seed are nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, burning in the throat, and abdominal pain. So as hypnotizing as it may look, being careful is the way to go. Number 3. Olida. This plant is evidence that even the most beautiful flower may be a danger to you. So no matter how pretty something may seem, it's better to educate yourself before handling something you don't know anything about. The oleander is a dense, fast-growing green shrub native to North Africa and the eastern Mediterranean regions. The plant grows with very little care, as it's very tolerant of heat and even droughts. It grows into a large shrub or a small tree and is tolerable to a wide range of soil types. The plant has several flowers in large clusters and comes in white, yellow, pink, and red. The scent of these flowers may seem familiar, as it's often described as being similar to the scent of apricots. Oleanders begin flowering in the spring, usually in March, and lasting into the fall. Even though it's a garden plant amongst all the other parts of this plant are considered toxic. The poisonous ingredients are mainly concentrated within the plant's leaves and stem. The oleander poisoning can infect the heart, nervous system, stomach, and intestines, eyes, and skin, and ingesting a single leaf may be lethal to small children. Not a beauty to underestimate if you ask me. Number 2. The Castor Bean plant. The castor bean is a fast-growing large shrub or small tree. In tropical regions, the tree grows to a maximum height of about 40 feet tall, developing woody stems over the years. The plant produces a whitish bloom, or in some cases this could be red too. The seed pods are much more flamboyant than the blossoms, however, and they are much more noticeable. The plants produce lots of yellow pollen, and the bees are attracted to the blossoms and the young seed pods to collect nectar. The entire plant is considered poisonous, and especially the hull of the seed containers. An extremely dangerous toxin, the other parts of the plant also contain the toxin, but predominantly in the lower concentration. The famous castor oil, which is used to treat different skin conditions, is produced from the seeds of a castor bean plant. Another significant fact to remember is that the toxin in the castor bean plant is 6,000 times more poisonous than cyanide, which is considered the most poisonous chemical in the world. However, castor seeds without the hull are actually used for birth control, contraception, leprosy, and syphilis. A wide range of uses. I wonder how they found all of that out. Number 1. Belladonna. Atropa belladonna, commonly known as belladonna or deadly nightshade, belongs to the nightshade family. It is native to Europe, North Africa, and Western Asia. It is commonly found growing in the woods and often found in disturbed areas, waste places, roadsides, where it can typically spread rapidly in a weed-like manner. It's a medium-sized shrub with dark green leaves and distinctive purple bell-shaped flowers. Atropa belladonna is an extremely poisonous plant. These toxins are mostly concentrated in the leaves, fruits, and roots of the plant, but can be found in the rest of the plant as well. These chemicals have the power to block functions of the nervous system of the body, and that's why the plants are considered highly poisonous. In case you ingest any parts of this plant, you may encounter delirium, hallucinations, but larger doses may have the chance of killing fully grown adult males. Consumptions of as much few as 2 berries can be lethal to a child. Contrary to all the ill effects of the plant, is also used to treat diseases like asthma, muscular spasms, and excessive sweating. I hope you got to know some interesting facts about the most dangerous plants in the world while watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more interesting content like this. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.